As 2025 draws to a close, Saudi Arabia is rethinking its approach to Somaliland. For years, Somaliland was a diplomatic afterthought, but its stability and strategic coastline along the Gulf of Aden have forced Riyadh to reconsider. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait, vital for global trade and Saudi oil exports, is increasingly vulnerable due to regional instability. Somaliland's recent deal with Ethiopia and growing ties with Western powers have raised its profile, making it impossible for Saudi Arabia to ignore. Vision 2030's focus on new trade routes and logistics hubs puts Berbera Port on Riyadh's radar as a key economic node. Somaliland's 3 decades of stability stand in stark contrast to its neighbors, making it an attractive partner for Saudi ambitions. The question for Riyadh is no longer if it should engage with Somaliland, but how to do so without destabilizing the region. The kingdom's verdict is clear: Somaliland is now central to its Red Sea strategy. Somaliland's rise in 2025 is the result of persistent, pragmatic diplomacy. Under President Abdirahman Mohamed Abdullahi, Hargeisa has shifted from seeking recognition to building real partnerships in security, trade, and investment. The Ethiopia-Somaliland MOU, granting Ethiopia port access, has transformed regional dynamics and forced major powers to take notice. Somaliland's outreach to the U.S. and Gulf investors, including new Islamic finance regulations, signals its readiness for global business. By offering military access and mineral deals, Somaliland has positioned itself as a valuable security partner in the Horn. These moves have elevated its status from a petitioner to a proactive regional player. Somaliland's blend of bold diplomacy and economic reform is redefining its place on the world stage. Its ascent is now impossible to ignore. Saudi Arabia's interest in Somaliland is driven by 3 priorities: maritime security, economic diversification, and regional stability. The Red Sea is a lifeline for Saudi trade. Instability threatens the kingdom's core interests. Somaliland's coastline could be a vulnerability or a security asset. Riyadh now sees partnership as essential to safeguarding shipping lanes. Berbera Port offers Saudi Arabia a new logistics hub, reducing over-reliance on Djibouti and countering China's influence. Somaliland's direct corridor to Ethiopia opens vast markets for Saudi exports and investments. In a region plagued by conflict, Somaliland's stability and democratic governance stand out. Saudi analysts argue that supporting Somaliland could anchor peace in the Horn and protect Saudi interests. Ignoring Somaliland is no longer an option for Riyadh's strategic planners. Engagement is now seen as a necessity, not a luxury. The stakes for Saudi Arabia in the Horn have never been higher. Saudi Arabia's Somaliland calculus unfolds amid fierce regional competition. The UAE leads with deep investments in Berbera Port and infrastructure, making it the dominant foreign player in Somaliland. Turkey, meanwhile, backs Mogadishu with military aid and economic support, drawing a clear line against Somaliland's ambitions. Ethiopia's quest for sea access via Somaliland has upended the regional order, alarming both Somalia and Egypt. For Riyadh, these moves highlight the urgency of engaging before rivals redraw the map. The Horn is now a chessboard of Gulf and regional powers, each maneuvering for influence. Saudi Arabia must act decisively or risk being sidelined in this high-stakes contest. The time for passive observation is over. Saudi policy experts now recommend a strategy of proactive but cautious engagement with Somaliland. Immediate recognition is off the table. Instead, Riyadh should focus on economic and security cooperation. Investment in logistics, energy, and agriculture aligns with Vision 2030 and builds leverage. Quiet security dialogues, intelligence sharing, joint naval exercises can enhance maritime safety without political fallout. The Red Sea Council offers a multilateral platform for technical cooperation, sidestepping sovereignty disputes. Saudi Arabia's recent outreach to Somalia, including labor agreements, underscores the need for diplomatic balance. The goal is to secure Saudi interests incrementally, using quiet diplomacy and economic incentives. Riyadh aims to be a stabilizing force, not a disruptor, in the Horn. Saudi Arabia's biggest challenge is balancing its ties with both Mogadishu and Hargeisa. Somalia sees any engagement with Somaliland as a threat to its sovereignty, while Somaliland demands recognition. Riyadh's formal recognition of Mogadishu complicates direct dealings with Hargeisa. To navigate this, Saudi Arabia is likely to use business delegations, academic exchanges, and private sector investments to engage Somaliland discreetly. This approach allows plausible deniability and maintains formal commitments to Somalia. Saudi diplomats will frame engagement as promoting regional stability, not recognition. Success depends on Riyadh's ability to compartmentalize relationships and avoid diplomatic fallout. It's a delicate balancing act, but one Saudi Arabia must master. Saudi interest marks a turning point for Somaliland and the Red Sea region. For Hargeisa, Riyadh's engagement brings investment, legitimacy, and new leverage in regional politics. A Saudi-Somaliland partnership could counterbalance UAE and Turkish influence, making the Horn more multipolar. This reduces Somaliland's dependence on a single patron and strengthens its bargaining power. However, increased Saudi involvement risks escalating rivalry with Mogadishu and intensifying Gulf competition in the region. The outcome hinges on Riyadh's diplomatic skill and Somaliland's ability to turn interest into tangible gains. Somaliland's moment has arrived. How it navigates this new attention will shape its future and the region's stability. The next chapter in the Horn of Africa is being written now. As the spotlight intensifies on Somaliland, the region stands at a crossroads. Will international recognition follow, or will new rivalries overshadow the gains? The answers remain uncertain. What is clear, however, is that the choices made today will echo far into the future. Somaliland's leaders, its people, and its partners all face critical decisions. In a world where alliances shift quickly and interests collide, adaptability and vision will be key. The story is far from over. Only time will reveal the true impact of this pivotal moment in the Horn of Africa. As we close our exploration of Somaliland's evolving role in the Horn of Africa, we turn to you. What do you think the future holds for this unrecognized nation? How might regional dynamics shift in the coming years? And what opportunities or challenges do you foresee for Somaliland and its neighbors? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your perspective adds valuable insight to this ongoing story. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for future updates on this fascinating region. As Riyadh recalibrates its strategy, another Gulf player is quietly expanding its footprint. Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, has long recognized the strategic advantage Somaliland offers, both as a logistical hub and a gateway to the Red Sea. Through discrete investments in port infrastructure, security cooperation, and commercial ventures, Abu Dhabi has steadily woven itself into the fabric of Somaliland's development. Yet, these moves are not without consequence. Subtle tensions simmer beneath the surface, as local leaders weigh the benefits of Emirati partnership against the risks of over-reliance. Meanwhile, regional rivals and global powers watch closely, wary of shifting alliances and the potential for new fault lines. Abu Dhabi's approach is less about overt declarations and more about building influence through sustained engagement, positioning itself as an indispensable partner while keeping its long-term intentions closely guarded. As Somaliland navigates this evolving landscape, the stakes grow higher, and every quiet move on the chessboard could reshape the region's future. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Somaliland's changing landscape and its impact on the Horn of Africa. For more in-depth analysis and updates, check the links in the video description below. Don't forget to subscribe for future episodes and to explore our recommended reading list on regional politics and international relations.